Okay, folks, welcome to AWE TV. I'm your host, Joseph Rampolla. And as I lose my voice today, I'm going to speak with my good friend, Brian Wassom from Wassom.com and AugmentedLegality.com. Brian, welcome to AWE.
Thanks, Joe, and thanks for spending your last breath on me.
Yeah, if there's anybody to lose my voice, it's you. So tell us what you think about this conference this year. I mean, it's been pretty crazy.
Well, you know, it's the fourth year that this conference has been held, and every year it's grown not only in the number of attendees, but also the number of companies and the breadth of innovation that's represented here. And you know, we've almost doubled the number of attendees this year over last year. And you know, you'll remember from years past, this exhibit hall used to be maybe a half, 3/4 full. It's full to the brim now. There are companies coming out of every angle, all along the walls there are booths. It's amazing the amount of creativity that's in this room.
Absolutely, it really is. I mean, it's just tremendous. And so tomorrow you're going to be talking, so tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about.
Okay, well, I moderate a panel on law, IP, and ethics, and of course IP is a subset of law, so they wanted to call out that specifically, that element. But we've only got an hour. Obviously, that's as you know from your show and the blogs that you and I both write. There's much more than an hour's worth of material out there to talk about. So, what we're going to hone in on is specifically, most importantly, patent rights, because that's something that's important not only to every tech industry, as we're definitely seeing in the mobile space, but AR as an emerging medium. You know, the innovators, the leaders in this field really need to get their patent rights squared away. And so they can protect themselves and protect their ability to innovate, to license, and to encourage the rest of the industry to kind of move on to their own technology rather than to copy. And the people who get their great product out there and put it on the market without getting their patent rights taken care of, they're asking for trouble.
They're really playing without a safety net, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And they're also putting a target on their backs, waiting for patent trolls like we've recently seen enter the AR space to just come after them for allegations of patent infringement.
From your perspective, do you think that these companies are really paying attention to it? I mean, what percentage of people getting involved in AR are paying attention, you think, to AR, IP?
I don't know that it would be fair for me to put a number on that, and certainly not to identify anyone specifically here at the conference.
I wouldn't say that.
I think it's definitely fair to say that there's room for improvement.
Oh, you're so diplomatic. Okay, but we have definitely a decent way to go though when it comes down to protecting ourselves. If I'm
the patent system's there. There are attorneys like us, like others, who are definitely schooled in obtaining these rights. Case in point, my panel tomorrow, a partner of mine at my firm named Brett Kruger, who has extensive experience gaining and applying for and receiving patents on AR-related inventions for his own clients, for our firm's clients. He'll be one of our speakers. Mm-hmm. So he'll be able to share his actual firsthand experience and insight on how to best protect those rights.
Now you work for the law firm of Honigman.
Honigman, Miller, Schwartz & Co.
Right, that's the long version. Are you seeing that things are really heating up now? Because I know you're doing a lot more talking all over the place. So, I mean, are you seeing in this AR field that's expanding based in the last, let's say, year?
Oh my goodness, yeah. You and I both know, again, we've seen this coming for a while. Everyone here basically has believed in this industry for a long time. The mainstream is really starting to catch on and realize, hey, this technology is coming, it's realistic, and it's really cool. Google Glass, that did a lot to bring AR technology into the public eye. Obviously, it's not the only thing, but enough, I think, critical mass is building that people are really interested in. So consequently, yes, I'm getting speaking invitations constantly. I'm having to turn them down now because of conflict.
I told you so.
He did. He's right. He called it years ago.
I was right. Now, should I look your boss in the eye and tell him that you need a raise because you predicted this, or no? You'll be quiet.
I can't tell you to do that, but I'm not going to fight with you either.
Give him a raise, boss. Give him a raise.
He said it, not me.
Yeah. So, let's talk about you. You've made a lot of predictions. Actually, each year you come out with predictions. Are your 2013 predictions coming true?
Funny you should ask. I gave myself, I thought, a fair but pretty, harsh critique of my own predictions, and if they didn't exactly come true, I graded myself a 0 on those, and so I gave myself a relatively low score. There are others, though, that since I did that have come out, and even the Arch magazine out of the Netherlands had a recent article about that,
about
and
you?
gave me more credit than I gave myself.
Really?
Actually, yeah, it's kind of funny, and some even that others haven't picked up on yet that I predicted and said had not yet come true. For example, trademark oppositions. People in the trademark office fighting with each other over the trademarks that they use to identify their services in the augmented space. At the time, at the beginning of the year, I thought, well, okay, I haven't seen any concrete examples of that yet, so I'll give myself a 0. Well, a month later, I learned of one. So, this stuff is happening. It may not always be in the public eye, but sometimes it's under the radar, but it's happening. All these different areas of law that established industries are practicing in all the time, that you see examples of activity in all the time. AR is now showing up.
Yeah. Well, one of the predictions was AR pornography from last year. I was making that prediction also, and I never thought I'd be excited to say I was right. We all knew it was coming, but it got here a little bit quicker. But there's just so many awesome things that AR is doing. Your blog, augmentedlegality.com. If you want to know information about legal issues and augmented reality, that's the place to go. Brian is the premier expert in AR law, and I can say those things, and we really appreciate it. So, anybody here that you haven't met that you want to meet, or you're gonna, looking to track down, or that sort of thing?
Well, my primary goal in coming to these conferences is to network, and there are just so many important people to meet here. So many people that are doing important things that I want to know them. If they want to consult me for legal services, that's awesome, obviously. But even just to know them, just to hear about what they're doing, interact with them, learn a little bit about how they think and how they see the world. It's exciting, and so I love to be part of that mix. But specifically to answer your question, back in the corner there's a setup of 10 different eyewear companies. Everybody's excited about Google Glass, and rightfully so, but they're not the only player in this industry. Eyewear is not about them. Eyewear is a whole category of devices that we know is a critical development for AR to really take hold, and there are 10 different companies out there right here in this space showing off their version of their hardware, so I'm eager to check that out.
Did you see that article about Google Glass and getting hacked and some of the things you could start doing with AR through that? I don't know if you saw that. There's a recent article on it, but that's the sort of thing where it's not just Google Glass. There's so many players here, and if we looked at the patents, and I know patents is more of like a proof, a concept that they're protecting, but there's a lot of stuff that's moving right now, and I think we're going to see wearables sooner rather than later, and they're going to need a good attorney when that happens. So, but all right, buddy, listen, it's a pleasure as always. I could talk to you forever, but we're going to get going here, and best of luck. The other thing I want to mention is tomorrow night we're going to hopefully at that AR.org meetup. You're going to come out, and you're also going to talk a little bit more about IP. You're going to talk about some of the legal issues with augmented reality, and you and your partner there. So I look forward to that, and it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. That'll be a great time. We'll actually have a little bit more opportunity for back and forth with the audience and to dive a little bit deeper than we'll be able to on tomorrow's panel.
Great, awesome.
All right,
thanks a lot, Brian.
Joe.
I appreciate it.